A father should protect his daughter, not sell her. But on the coldest night of winter, Alpha Darius accepted 100 chests of gold in exchange for his own child. She was chained, thrown into an enemy carriage, and abandoned by the only family she had ever known. The enemy pack celebrated their victory. Alpha Darius believed he had just saved his kingdom. He didn't know. He had just handed the enemy the rightful queen of every Lycan alive. This is the story of Sophia, the daughter no one wanted. The princess destiny had already chosen. For centuries, the Black Fang pack ruled the northern mountains. Its warriors were feared. Its alpha was respected. But behind the walls of the great fortress, fear ruled more than honor. Alpha Darius believed power was worth any sacrifice, even blood. 3 years earlier, the Black Fang pack had nearly been destroyed, not because they lacked brave warriors, but because someone they trusted betrayed them. To rebuild the kingdom, Alpha Darius borrowed an enormous fortune from the Crimson Moon pack. The agreement was simple: repay the debt within 3 years, or surrender something far more valuable than gold. Everyone believed Darius would find another way. Everyone, except Darius himself. 3 winters passed. The treasury stood empty. The harvest had failed. The mines had collapsed. The kingdom was drowning in debt. Then, the gates opened. The Crimson Moon army entered the capital. Their banners covered the sky like a sea of crimson. Their alpha rode at the front. Tall, silent. His face revealed nothing. He stopped before Alpha Darius. The time has come. Darius nodded. I know. The enemy Alpha looked toward the royal family. I no longer want your gold. I have come for your daughter. The royal hall fell completely silent. Sophia slowly looked toward her father. Surely, he would refuse. She was his only child, his only heir. Her voice trembled. Father, you won't let them take me, will you? Darius never answered. Instead, he asked one question. If I surrender Sophia, our debt disappears forever? The enemy Alpha nodded once. It does. Darius closed his eyes. For only a moment. Then he spoke. Take her. The room exploded with shocked gasps. Sophia couldn't breathe. Her knees nearly gave way. She stared at the man she had called father her entire life. You sold me. Still. He refused to meet her eyes. Royal guards approached. Cold iron chains locked around her wrists. Sophia struggled. Please. I've done nothing wrong. Father. You can't do this. Her voice echoed across the hall. No one moved. Not a single noble. Not a single warrior. Not even the servants. Some lowered their heads. Others looked away. No one dared challenge their alpha. Sophia's tears rolled silently down her face. As she was dragged through the palace gates, she looked back one last time. Her father remained standing on his throne. Without regret. Without sorrow. Without saying goodbye. Outside, snow covered the kingdom. The carriage waited. Heavy chains connected to its iron wheels. Sophia was pushed inside. The wooden door slammed shut. The journey began. For hours, neither guard spoke. Only the sound of horses echoed through the frozen mountains. Sophia expected insults. She expected beatings. Perhaps even execution. Instead, something impossible happened. As the carriage crossed the Crimson Moon border, every soldier they passed stopped walking. Every warrior lowered his head. Even battle-hardened generals stepped aside. No one looked directly at her. They bowed. Sophia frowned. She quietly whispered, "Why are they bowing?" No one answered. The carriage continued forward. By sunset, they reached the Crimson Moon capital. Sophia prepared herself for prison. Instead, massive palace gates slowly opened. Rows of servants stood waiting. They lowered their heads respectfully. One elderly woman stepped forward. "Welcome." She stopped herself. "Lady Sophia." Sophia looked around in confusion. "You bought me. So why am I being welcomed?" The old servant smiled sadly. "Because this palace has waited a very long time for your return." Sophia's heart skipped. "My return? I've never been here." The servant remained silent. Sophia was led inside. There were no prison cells. No chains, no cages. Instead, a magnificent bedroom had been prepared. Silk curtains danced in the evening breeze. A royal feast covered an enormous table. Beautiful dresses filled golden wardrobes. Nothing made sense. That night, unable to sleep, Sophia quietly left her room. The palace corridors stretched endlessly beneath the moonlight. As she wandered, she noticed an old wooden door standing slightly open. Curiosity pulled her inside. Dust covered everything. Ancient portraits lined the walls. Kings, queens, legendary warriors. Then, she froze. At the end of the room, hung the oldest painting in the entire palace. A young queen wearing a silver crown, long dark hair, piercing blue eyes, the same face, the same smile, the same tiny birthmark beneath her left eye. Sophia slowly stepped closer. Her breathing became uneven. No, this isn't possible. She reached toward the painting with trembling fingers. Below it, ancient words had been carved into black stone. The last true Lycan Queen. 1,000 years ago, Sophia stepped backward in fear. The room suddenly felt colder. Behind her, a calm voice broke the silence. I wondered how long it would take you to find her. Sophia turned around. Standing in the doorway was the Crimson Moon Alpha. His expression held no hatred, no victory, only quiet relief. Then, to Sophia's complete shock, the most feared Alpha in the kingdom slowly lowered himself onto one knee. He bowed his head, not before a prisoner, not before an enemy, but before his queen. The enemy Alpha bowed before her. Sophia thought it was a trick, a cruel game, a way to break her before killing her, because no enemy showed respect to the daughter of the man who betrayed them. But then, the Crimson Moon Alpha spoke 4 words that changed everything. Your Majesty, forgive us. Sophia froze. Her heart raced. Your Majesty? She looked behind her. There was no one else in the room. He was talking to her. You are mistaken. I am not a queen. I am just the daughter my father sold. The Alpha slowly lifted his eyes, and what he said next destroyed everything Sophia believed about her own life. Your father did not sell you because you were worthless. He sold you because he never knew your true identity. Sophia stepped back. What are you talking about? The Alpha stood. For the first time, the most feared warrior in the north looked almost afraid. 1,000 years ago, the first Lycan Queen disappeared. Her bloodline vanished. Every pack searched for her descendants, but no one found them. He looked directly at Sophia. Until now. Sophia shook her head. No, my family is ordinary. My father is Alpha Darius. The Alpha's expression darkened. That man raised you. He did not create you. A cold silence filled the room. Sophia felt something inside her awaken. A memory. A strange dream she had carried since childhood. A silver wolf. A glowing moon. A voice whispering her name. She had always thought it was just a dream. But now, she wasn't so sure. Why me? Why would my father hide this? The Alpha walked toward an ancient book resting on the table. He opened it carefully. Inside was a symbol. A silver crescent surrounded by flames. Sophia touched the page. The moment her fingers touched the symbol, the entire room shook. The candles went out. A powerful energy exploded through the palace. The Alpha immediately stepped back, because he felt it too. Her Lycan aura, the aura that had been missing for 1,000 years. Sophia stared at her own hands. What is happening to me? The Alpha whispered. The Queen has awakened. Suddenly, a terrifying howl echoed across the mountains. The entire Crimson Moon Kingdom fell silent. Every Lycan warrior dropped to one knee. Every wolf bowed toward the palace, because they all felt the same thing. Their lost queen had returned. But far away, in the Black Fang Fortress, Alpha Darius received the news. A messenger entered the throne room. My Alpha, the Crimson Moon Pack has announced the return of the true Lycan Queen. Darius laughed. Impossible. The messenger lowered his head. Her name is Sophia. The smile disappeared from Darius' face. The room became silent, because Darius knew something no one else knew. Sophia was never supposed to survive. Years ago, the night she was born, an ancient prophecy had been discovered. A child would be born with silver blood. A child who would unite every Lycan pack. A child who would either save the world or destroy every alpha who stood against her. Darius remembered the fear in every leader's eyes. They didn't see a daughter. They saw a threat. So he made a choice. He hid her identity. He erased her destiny. And when the time came, he abandoned her. But now, the child he tried to bury had become the most powerful wolf alive. Darius clenched his fists. No, she cannot know the truth. Meanwhile, Sophia stood before thousands of Crimson Moon warriors. For the first time in her life, people weren't looking at her with disappointment. They weren't ignoring her. They weren't treating her like a burden. They were looking at her like she mattered. The Crimson Moon Alpha stepped forward. "My queen, there is one more truth you must learn." Sophia looked at him. "What?" His expression turned serious. "The man you called father was never your real father." Sophia stopped breathing. "What did you say?" The Alpha revealed an ancient silver pendant. A pendant that matched the birthmark beneath her eye. "This belonged to your true parents. The last king and queen of the Lycans. They were murdered the same night you disappeared." Sophia stared at the pendant. Tears filled her eyes. All her life, she believed she was unwanted. A mistake. A daughter her father regretted. But the truth was something far greater. She wasn't abandoned because she was weak. She was abandoned because someone feared what she would become. Then, the palace doors suddenly exploded open. A wounded warrior fell to the ground. "My queen, the Black Fang army is approaching." Sophia looked toward the battlefield outside. Thousands of enemy soldiers filled the mountains. And at the front was Alpha Darius, her father, the man who sold her, the man who destroyed her life, the man now standing before her kingdom. The Crimson Moon Alpha looked at Sophia. "Your command, Queen Sophia?" Everyone waited. For the first time, the choice belonged to her. And Sophia stepped forward. Her eyes began glowing silver. "Open the gates. Let my father enter. Because after tonight, he will finally learn what kind of daughter he abandoned." The gates opened. Slowly, the sound echoed across the entire Crimson Moon Kingdom. Every warrior stood frozen, because they knew who was coming. The man who sold their queen, Alpha Darius. Sophia stood at the top of the palace stairs, looking down at the army that once called her family. For years, she imagined this moment. She imagined screaming. She imagined revenge. She imagined making him feel the same pain he gave her. But now, as she looked at him, she felt something unexpected. Nothing. No fear. No desperation. Only a quiet strength she had never felt before. Alpha Darius stepped forward. His armor was covered in snow. His face was older, tired, but his eyes were still the same. Cold. Calculating. Sophia. Hearing her name from him felt strange, like hearing a stranger speak. She didn't answer. Darius looked around at the warriors kneeling before her, then at the silver glow in her eyes. His expression changed, because he finally understood. The daughter he threw away was no longer his daughter. She was their queen. "You don't belong here." Sophia's eyes narrowed. The entire army went silent. The man who had abandoned her still dared to speak those words. Darius continued, "You don't know what you are. You don't understand the power inside you." Sophia slowly walked down the stairs. "Then why did you fear me?" Darius froze. For the first time, he had no answer. She stepped closer. "Why did you hide my identity? Why did you let them chain me? Why did you watch me beg you, and still turn away?" Every word struck harder than any weapon. Darius looked away. "I did what was necessary." Sophia laughed softly, but there was no happiness in it. "Necessary? You sold your own child. You called it survival. You called it duty. But you never called it betrayal." The warriors lowered their heads. Even the strongest soldiers felt the weight of her pain. Darius clenched his jaw. "You think I wanted to do that? You think I enjoyed losing you?" Sophia stopped. A strange feeling crossed her heart, because for a moment, she saw something. Regret. Real regret. But before she could speak, a voice came from behind Darius. Don't believe him. Everyone turned. A hooded figure stepped out from the Black Fang army. Sophia felt a sudden chill. The Crimson Moon Alpha immediately reached for his sword, because he recognized that person. No, you cannot be alive. The hooded figure smiled. I have been alive longer than any of you know. The figure removed the hood, and the entire battlefield gasped. An ancient Lycan, one who should have died centuries ago. Sophia stared in confusion. Who are you? The old warrior looked at her. His eyes filled with sadness. I was there the night your parents died. The world seemed to stop. Sophia couldn't breathe. My parents? The old warrior nodded. They weren't killed by enemies. They were betrayed by their closest allies. Her eyes moved toward Darius. Slowly. No. Darius looked away. And that single movement was enough. Sophia felt her heart break all over again. You knew. Darius remained silent. You knew what happened to them? Still no answer. The old warrior stepped forward. Your father knew everything. He knew you were the last heir. He knew the prophecy. He knew your enemies would come for you. Sophia's voice trembled. Then why? The old warrior looked at Darius. Because he made a deal. The battlefield became silent. Sophia stared at the man who raised her. What deal? The old warrior spoke the words that changed everything. Alpha Darius did not sell you to save his kingdom. He sold you to save himself. A wave of shock spread through every warrior. Sophia looked at Darius. Her father. The man she spent years trying to understand. The man she secretly hoped still loved her. But now, she saw the truth. Darius stepped forward. Listen to me. No. Sophia's voice was calm. Too calm. You had years to explain. You had years to protect me. You had years to tell me the truth. Her silver eyes began glowing brighter. But you chose gold. The ground beneath her feet began shaking. The moon above the kingdom changed. The warriors looked toward the sky in fear. Because something ancient was awakening. The Crimson Moon Alpha whispered. The Queen's first transformation. A powerful silver light surrounded Sophia. Her wolf spirit appeared behind her. Not a normal wolf. A massive silver Lycan. The same wolf from the ancient legends. Everyone fell to one knee. Even Alpha Darius. Because no matter how powerful he was, he could not deny what stood before him. The true queen had awakened. But then, a dark shadow covered the moon. A voice echoed from the mountains. So, the lost queen has finally returned. Everyone turned. A massive black wolf stood on the cliff above them. Its eyes burned red. The Crimson Moon Alpha's face changed. No, that can't be. Sophia looked at him. Who is that? The Alpha whispered. The first Lycan King. The one who disappeared 1,000 years ago. Sophia stared at the creature. Impossible. The ancient wolf smiled. Hello, little queen. I have been waiting for you. The wind stopped. The warriors trembled. Because the greatest secret of the Lycan world was finally revealed. The first king wasn't dead. He was waiting. And he had not returned to protect Sophia. He had returned to take her crown. The first Lycan king had returned. For 1,000 years, every pack believed he was a legend, a forgotten ruler, a story told beside winter fires. But Sophia was looking at the truth. The ancient king stood beneath the dark sky. His black wolf form towered over the mountains. His red eyes burned with power. And every Lycan warrior could feel it. The presence of the first ruler. The one who created their bloodline. Sophia stared at him. You came back. After 1,000 years. Just to steal my crown? The ancient king smiled. You misunderstand, child. I did not return for your crown. I returned because you were never meant to have it. The warriors gasped. The Crimson Moon Alpha stepped forward. Watch your words. You stand before the true queen. The ancient king laughed. True queen. You still believe the old stories? He looked at Sophia. Your parents were not killed because they were betrayed. They were killed because they discovered the truth. Sophia's expression changed. What truth? The ancient king looked toward the moon. The Lycan throne does not belong to the strongest. It belongs to the one who can control the darkness inside their blood. A cold wind swept across the battlefield. Sophia felt something strange. The silver energy inside her was changing. The ancient king continued. The power you awakened. It is not only the power of the queen. It is the power of the first Lycan. Everyone became silent. The Crimson Moon Alpha looked worried. No, the prophecy. The ancient king smiled. Yes. The prophecy you feared. Sophia looked between them. What prophecy? The Alpha hesitated, but the ancient king answered. The last Lycan Queen will rise. She will unite every pack. She will end every war. But she will also have the power to destroy them all. Sophia looked at her hands. Her entire life, she thought she was weak, unwanted, forgotten. But now she carried a power that terrified even legends. The ancient king stepped closer. You have two choices, Sophia. Accept your destiny, or watch this world burn because you cannot control it. Sophia lifted her chin. I don't want power. I don't want a throne. I only wanted a family. For the first time, the ancient king's expression softened, because he saw something unexpected. Not a ruler, not a weapon, a wounded girl. But then, Alpha Darius stepped forward. Sophia. Everyone turned. The man who betrayed her looked broken. I know I don't deserve forgiveness. I know I failed you. But I need you to know something. Sophia stared at him. What? Darius lowered his head. The night you were born. I held you in my arms. I saw the mark of the Lycan Queen. I knew the world would come for you. Tears filled his eyes. I was afraid, not of your power, but of losing you. Sophia remained silent. So I made the worst choice. I thought if I pushed you away, if I made the world believe you were nothing, you would survive. Sophia's voice was cold. You didn't protect me. You broke me. Darius closed his eyes. I know, and I will spend the rest of my life paying for it. A long silence followed. Sophia wanted to hate him. She tried, but somewhere inside, the little girl who waited for her father's love still existed. Then suddenly, the ancient king attacked. A wave of dark energy exploded across the battlefield. Warriors flew backward. The ground shattered. The Crimson Moon Alpha rushed forward. But the ancient king was too powerful. He grabbed him effortlessly. You were always weak. Sophia's eyes flashed silver. Release him. The ancient king looked at her. Or what? Sophia stepped forward. Or you will learn why the universe chose me. The ancient king attacked. The sky turned black. The mountains shook. Every Lycan watched as the battle between legends began. Dark power collided with silver light. The ancient king fought with 1,000 years of experience. But Sophia fought with something stronger. Her heart. Every memory came back. The pain. The betrayal. The loneliness. The moment she was chained. The moment she was abandoned. But instead of letting the pain control her, she accepted it. And that changed everything. Her silver wolf appeared. But this time, it was different. It wasn't filled with rage. It was calm, powerful, complete. The ancient king froze. No, that is impossible. Sophia looked at him. The power was never the problem. The problem was believing I needed to become someone else. A massive wave of silver energy exploded. The darkness disappeared. The ancient king's power began fading. He fell to his knees. For the first time in 1,000 years, the first king bowed, not because he was defeated, but because he finally understood. The future did not belong to him. It belonged to her, the true Lycan Queen. Months passed. The northern mountains changed forever. The Black Fang and Crimson Moon packs united. Old enemies became allies. Wars ended. And in the center of the new kingdom, Sophia stood before thousands of Lycans. wearing the silver crown she was born to carry. But she was not the same girl who was dragged away in chains. She was stronger, wiser, and finally, free. Alpha Darius stood among the crowd, not as her father, not as her ruler, but as a man who finally understood what he lost. Sophia looked at him, and after a long silence, she walked toward him. I cannot forget what happened. Darius lowered his head. I know, but I will not let your mistake decide my future. A tear fell from his eyes. For the first time, Sophia saw something she had waited for her entire life. Not power, not an apology, love. The kingdom cheered. The moon shone brighter than ever, and the legend was written. The daughter who was sold as a sacrifice returned as the queen who united the world. Because sometimes, the person everyone tries to destroy is the one destiny chooses to save. The end.